Good morning. It's Saturday, January 18th, 2025, with your host, John Newquist, and it's the Wall Street Weekly Wrap Up. And it was a monster week. If you were long like us, you made money like us, you cashed in like us. We didn't cash in, we just made money. But it was a great week. Let's get into it. The banks. Oh my God. The king, the one and only Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan. Boom. Beat it by 72 cents. Oh, my senses are going up in smoke. Holy smokes. Beat on revenue. Earnings $4.81 a share. Wow. Look at the revenues. You know, when we go in and we look at the financials, which oddly had timing this time to match with the banks, JP Morgan by far was not the one. But when you got trillions of dollars to push in and make money, that's pretty amazing. I mean, the chart's good. I mean, oh my God. I'm a fan of the 200-day moving average slope. And man, this is a nice slope. It's good. Look at this trend line. Just gets there once in a while and keeps it above. And, life is good on JP Morgan. And yeah, 2.2 times book. They defies all odds. Everybody says, sell it two, buy it one book. And that's what it said for years and years. I'm telling you, I don't get rid of it. I'm not there to cash out and time this market. And this is what I'm starting to see is, all these things are starting to break down. That you go out and make money and do this and you do this, rinse, repeat. It ain't working so much. Now you ain't getting into JP Morgan. You'd have been out way back over here. You'd been down 60% of your money because you wouldn't have chased it. Is it going to go down? Yeah, everything goes down. Hell, we get a crash, we get some other thing. Who knows? But everybody will go down then. It ain't just going to be our stocks. Taiwan Semiconductor. Well, here we are. Look at this. Beats on revenue, earnings. The stunning thing is going to be raising guidance. Holy smokes, A lot of information. 39% per year for revenue. And they're going to go up 40%. I show the Arizona facility with all the solar farms. Man, this is how they're going to get their energy. They're betting on the solar. But man, I just started thinking Phoenix was 120 degrees. There's a lot of air conditioning you're going to need. I mean, you'll have the solar, but I'm telling you, we, the boss, said, oh yeah, we'll grow 40%. AI revenue is jumping. They make Apple. They make NVIDIA. They're the ones. In the United States, they're going to put one in Japan. They're going to keep on making the best chips in the world. What a deal. Our indicators, well, finally we went down a little bit on the 2 year. I watched the 2 year. Some people watch the 10 year, one was the 30. I just watch it just because it's just, if you want to put in money for a money market, that's what you're going to use. Hi, this is John Newquist with the Merrill Lynch. We have a 7.6 bond fund selling currently at 6 months, 7.6%, not 4.7. That's what you did. I always give Merrill Lynch credit because it really showed me a lot of stuff about what I never wanted to do in life. But crude oil, oh my God, we were at 80 bucks. Ding, 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 ding. Well, that's a lot painful. I watched the guy, and I honestly don't remember the analyst, but he said, it could go down to 50. His target's 50. There's a lot of oil coming out, and my God, if we settle the Ukraine-Russian war, we might have $50 oil. There's going to be so much oil pumping everywhere, And if they ease the sanctions on Russia, which is what I heard one of the people talking about, they could pump the oil and sell it, get out of whatever solution they have for Ukraine. They're going to flood it, and it's going to go down. But remember, Exxon, Conoco, $40 is the magic number. They make money. Natural gas a little bit lower, actually a lot lower today, 6.7%. But it's a cold polar vortex coming in the Midwest. Almost, it's like the hand is right there of cold is going to be on the United States. So we just got a nice day, about 45. Somebody said I might got to 50, but we don't know, and that's one of the things we got to take a look at. So silver and gold, better than it was. Remember, we were down there. 2,700 is always good for gold. It's kind of going up. Will it break higher? Who knows? Gold, copper a little bit better. 436. Remember, it was 416 just a few weeks ago. So I drew the oil chart. Look at this thing. It broke out. But one of the things about these commodities, it can break out and then just completely collapse back out there. I didn't show the coffee chart. We've been showing the coffee chart a lot, but coffee's up near a high again. It's coming up. Went down, come up, coming near the high, coming near the high. You know, there's only so much you'll pay for coffee, but I did watch Starbucks CEO says no more panhandling. You got to buy something to be in the store. You got to buy something to use the bathroom. You know, he's taking the Chipotle stuff, and it actually makes sense. And you know, the coffee's got to get better. But that's me. That's me. You know, Howard Schultz loves that coffee. I'm not a fan. I mean, I don't remember the last time. You know, I go to Starbucks when I go to a hotel. That's when I go to Starbucks. I want the coffee. In our portfolio, boom, 3.91% versus the S&P 1.9. We're already 2% ahead of the S&P. Remember, that's our benchmark, not any of these other numbers. The S&P 500. I showed the SPY. Look at this. The SPY is another beautiful slope. Look at this thing. Overall, it's going. Remember, it's not just the Mag 7. There's 500 stocks. We're doing better than all of them. Today we were up 1.14%, and the Schwabi magic thing, always a day behind, 2.7. That's pretty good. I mean, yes, the Dow, of course, our big stock is Nvidia, so is the Dow's big stock, and it'd be higher if it didn't have Apple, which we don't have Apple. And I get to watch Big Jim sit there and complain. It's gone down and it's gone. We'll talk about Apple. We will talk about Apple. All right, let's take a look at Morgan Stanley. Another one of our core financial holdings. Beat on revenue, 25%. What? This is $1 billion of financial company. They rose $16 billion. Well, you know what? Everybody's thinking, hey, we're going to get merger acquisitions. So Goldman Sachs hot. We don't need both. Remember, we got one for merger acquisitions, wealth management, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. If you want to buy that one, either one of them. To me, they're both good companies and beautiful 200-day moving average and good earnings. Oh my God, this is a core one. And this boom 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 of financials did great for us.
This is a reminder. What's happening with Bitcoin?
Oh my God. Bitcoin.
This is a reminder.
94,000. What, a week ago? It got up to 104 today. Hey Alexa, what's Bitcoin's price right now? Probably 104. Alexa. She's shy. Doesn't want to say. I think it's like 104. But let's go on. Arrowhead. This came out like the end of the day. I don't know if it came in before or after the close. I read it after the close because it was a busy day. Holy smokes, it was like nonstop. Time you wake up, time you got to this show, But the big thing is they got a triglyceride drug that's really good, and there are triglyceride drugs that are good, but they got it, and that's nice. So that's a nice little victory. A little pop at the end over here, but what I like about it is it's a small company and they're doing things right. That's good. It's better than a big multi-billion-dollar company and can't get anything right, So this is something, like I said, doing good. What they're doing gets through the trials. That's why I like them. Well, of course, BAC, Boeing, Bank of America. That's right here. Beat, good earnings, 15%. Look at these. These banks are just floating along. So, yeah, you don't have JP Morgan, get Citibank, get Bank of America. There's a lot of good ones in there right now. Everybody seems to be doing well. And if they do re-regulation, they're going to make some serious money. Citigroup, another one. Revenues up 12%. Look at that jump. My God, people fell off the chair when they had great earnings. Well, they're managed really well. I was listening to all the CEOs this week, and you know what? Everybody's crowing because they've had a good year. And they should crow because they had a good year. And deregulation will give them some more money. They're not going to collapse. Things could get bad, but I think the banks are really going to do good. And if little merger acquisition starts to come away, they can start picking up some of these more regional banks. It's a good thing, and I think the banks you got to be in there, the bank sector. My God, and that's why we're diversified, because it doesn't have to just be tech that runs up and makes you the money. CPI. Oh my God, we finally got metric easing since July. I mean, this is a long CPI chart, but essentially we're, the core and everything else, 2.3 versus 0.3. Prices 3.3% year over year. It's not inflation, but that's the CPI, and that's not so bad. Everybody wants it down to 2, and okay, but I'll tell you, I remember days when this was double this, So I guess I'm kind of like, you know, thankful for 3.2. Apple, no longer the top dog in China. Well, look at this. I mean, if you were the mad person on money and you're talking about your core holding, don't trade it, don't sell it, you're sick.
Just as a reminder, small caps, what are they going to do?
Well, Tom Lee says it's going to be their time to run.
Just as a reminder, small caps, what are they going to do?
Lower interest rate, they should do well. I mean, again, Lee missed his portfolio prediction and stuff. We got till Sunday. We're gonna, the S&P went down 3%. We said 5 to 20. Didn't make it. That's good, but we would have kind of maybe seen a little correction be good. That means, what does it probably mean? We're going to push it out in 2025. Lee keeps on thinking it's going to happen in the summer, May. I don't know. Now, he might be right on it. I mean, we missed our numbers. My model's pretty foggy until about May, and I don't see any big correction coming in May. But it doesn't matter. We've had a good, run, and all it has to do is, put the bunch of tariffs, the economy slows down, and everything else just dumps with it. So we don't know. I mean, the first, a lot of the stuff in Congress is not going to get done until March or May. It takes time, and they got to get through these other, appointments, like senators and House members that have been vacated their seat. They got to, do elections and things like that. So, again, like I said, we always look at it as Apple's an AI innovator, but not an AI core holding, because it's NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductor, and ARM. Those are our three people that are making the AI chips. So, but as Apple makes more and more chips with Taiwan Semiconductor, there's going to be a day that it's going to come up. So, again, a good solid slope, but now we're below the 50 and 200-day moving average. We just broke along the trend line. Ooh, that is not the spicy meatball that we want to be in, So I don't think, we're going to be buying Apple. I mean, revenue growth had one positive, but boy, out of the last, 8, it's been negative for a lot of them. United Healthcare as well, they beat, reaffirmed guidance, made good earnings, 621, revenues modest, 6.8. They just dropped it. I mean, this stock has just, been a mess. And as I hear about all the people sitting there, saying, I got it, deny, delay, whatever, it is just the problem. And by the way, I did my book, and it's not public book, it's a book for me with silent voices, loud echoes about the killing and, the shooter, Luigi. I just wanted to put it all in there. I wrote a book because I just wanted to sit there and get this thing in time order and stuff. And I sat there and argued with the publisher about what's copyright, what's not copyright. And I says, you know what, I'm just going to publish my own book, and just going to be for me, because I just want to keep this for, because 5-10 years ago we're not going to remember it. But I don't want to break copyright, but I don't want to sit the book in the PDF files forever either. So I just published it at an expensive amount. Publish one novel, but I did it, and it's just a way to for me to keep it, and then we'll do it, because if I take a social media picture and use it, they're saying that it's copyrighted, and I said, well, how come I can see it on NBC? They're not paying that person anything. They didn't get permission from that person, so who knows? Let's see. Solana. Oh, this is our crypto wonderland. I made some graphics with ChatGPT. Who are the kings of crypto? Well, Ethcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. The queens, which doesn't exist. Bitcoin is sitting at the top of this thing, and I play with it because it's still learning to type and spell correctly. The future of finance, I just said, listen, we're looking at 2.5%, small percentage of our portfolio. I mean, I know people, 1/3 of their portfolio is crypto, half of their portfolio is crypto. That's all or nothing. I guess if you're in the low 20s, you could afford to risk everything on crypto, but not me. It's in there. It's in the portfolio. Some people say, why don't you go 5% like some people? Where'd that 5% come from? That's a lot of money. I'd rather have another stock. Ideally, we're running around about 40 stocks, so 2.5 is a good number. We're at that number for crypto. And then people are asking, what are you buying? What do you have? Well, we bought more Cardano we bought Cardano this week in Polygon, but these are the ones that we're looking at, and that's about it. what do we got? 10 crypto in here. It's not equal. Bitcoin is number one by far, and then Ethereum, and then everything else is kind of going out there. So, for some odd reason, we bought Chainlink real low, and it's like it's not, instead of like, being 10% of the portfolio, it's a little bit more than this. So, unlocking the future, decentralized applications, instead of all the data having, be controlled by Facebook, Meta, all your finance stuff, this will be all by you with decentralized. I just see the day where I've got so much of Cardano and I want to buy something, I just hit a button and pay like the thing. No transaction fee, because I keep on hearing my retailer friends, and I pay too when I take cash, not cash, credit card, fees of 5%, 8%. That doesn't need to happen. Point click, they did nothing to earn that 5%. Nothing. Yeah, they ran the software, but these are millions and millions and millions of transactions a day, and all they do is just collect the money, and that's just wrong. So I think it's going to happen. It starts with decentralized applications for finance and data and everything else, and smart contracts going into the blockchain and everything else. So some of the other ones I just made this, just you can look at. I'm not going to go over it, but decentralized DApps, that's the term, DApps, decentralized applications, DeFi, decentralized finance. Some of these coins. We don't know what's going to happen. I've been around Bitcoin for a long time, 10 years, 12 years. And, I remember when it was $10, and, you bought something from China with a big deal. Because you couldn't get stuff, they didn't take Visa and stuff. So, of course, you didn't save any of it, you didn't think much of it. It was just a tool, not a investment. And then, XRP, I think this is one, like I said, we bought it at like 32 cents, and Jesus, that thing is going up to $3. They're thinking the countries are going to use this as transferring money to each countries and stuff, instead of us trying to put it in dollars, convert it to your yens and yuan and all the other currencies. That's why they have it. So Solana, quick speeds, I think it's definitely one. And then Chainlink, again, the smart contracts, works well with the blockchain. Polkadot, the CEO and the boss of Polkadot, I just listen to him. He's just, he sees the future. Just hasn't happened. If you watch the stuff from 2020, and it's 5 years later, none of this happened. And that's one of the things. So I started doing a lot of research about why is it not happening, because Bitcoin should have been 10 years ago. And then I started realizing it's, the speed in the transactions and stuff like that. It takes time. And so who's solving it? Well, I think Polygon and Matic Chip is Matic Chip. I'm on chip mine. The token is working on scaling the Ethereum, faster transaction, and you can look up the ZK EVM and stuff. But it's essentially we're going to try to make it faster. So I think it's going to happen. But like I said, 10 years ago I thought it would happen, but it hasn't. So will it be there 10 years ago? I hope so. I think so. But I just buy it. Buy a little. Don't go crazy in it. Just buy some. 2.5. You're not going to lose 100% of your money in crypto in a week, so you don't have to worry about it. So our financials, JPM 10%, 10.9. That's a good one. They were good when everybody else is bad. Now everybody else is good, and they're a little bit behind, but I don't care. And then look at Morgan Stanley, 25%. We knew Morgan Stanley. Look at Aon, the insurance company, SoFi. Well, SoFi was so beaten down at $6. Geez, now they're getting the money. AIG, the insurance company, not so good. But the other ones are doing, and of course, Coinbase is just having a great time with the crypto boom, So, these are companies doing revenue gross, and they're going good, and financial side is good. And if you're not at least equal weighted in financials, you're kind of missing the boat there, because it's going to be good. Jamie Dimon, I always read his results and his reports. Consumer banking, 2 million new checking accounts in 2024.
This
wow.
is a reminder. What should a small investor do? This is a reminder. What should a small investor do?
I hate to say, ever since in college, what would you do with $1,000? That's still relevant today. Even though $1,000 is nothing like $1,000 in, but I tell people you can buy a little bit of it. Of course, Lily is like $800, 700 bucks, and people are like, I don't have seven, but I want to put 700. I understand. You could go to Robinhood. I understand you could buy like $100 of Lily and stuff, but try to get 10 of our stocks diversified, and just start with there. And if you get money, you can save up, and eventually hope you save 800 bucks for a Lily. I mean, it might be 1100 then, but that's how you do it. You go through it, and then try to get diversified. It's hard when you start out small, but we just tell people, just don't go pick the 10 cheapest stocks in our portfolio. Just try to pick one from each sector. Remember, there's 14 sectors, so I tell people, if you got $1,400, then try to buy $100 of something on each of the sectors, and then you can add to it. Remember, just add a little bit to it. You get some money next month and add to it and stuff. Look at the client net flows. I mean, 2 years they got $1 trillion almost coming in. $1 trillion of more money to spend, which that's why as you get more and more money, it's harder to make money. It's not like you can just lend the money out and get buyers. If you do, then the risk is going to be going up. That's why, like I said, they've done an incredible job. The XLF is the financial ETF, and what a beautiful slope. I love this 200-day moving average. Almost parallel with the trend average, and it's going good. So, I mean, I tell people, the financials are good. I like them, just like the techs. Overweight, what are we doing? Well, we've got our stocks. This is all positive. Remember, when you get into I think it's plus 5%, the chart gets these nice little green ones, and then when it gets super bright, Ryan, you've done real well. But look at Microsoft, Nvidia, they're all up. Again, the one dog we're not in, Amazon, Tesla's even up. Google, Meta, those are, kind of like, 5 kings right there for size-wise. Of course, Walmart's doing well, and then we get into our Lily's not doing so good, even though we bought it. And JP Morgan and all our banks are doing well. So, been a good year. Again, this is a choppy year. So goes January, so goes the year. There's so many people that believe it and act on that. It doesn't have to sit there and be true anymore. It is what people do. So, and that's why we tell people, I'd like a good January. We got 15 more days. If we can be positive, we got a good year coming ahead. Usually the first year of a president's usually good. And he's got ability to write a lot of executive orders. Let's hope it goes good. But again, we got more earnings next week. Holy smokes! These next 2 weeks are going to be tons of earnings, and I'm not going to go through every major stock and stuff. I just do the summary for the sector. But anything we got, always we cover. We cover all our stocks because we watch them like a hawk. So have a good week. The polar paw or the polar vortex or whatever it is, let's hope it doesn't beat up everybody. And I'll see you next week, and let's hope it's a good one.